great to have you here today. To begin, could you please introduce yourself and share a bit about your background and experience in recruitment?
Definitely. Hi, I'm Bhavna Sachdeva, and I've been working in the recruitment space for more than 10 years. And I've started my career with an MNC Wipro, and then eventually I moved to Exigo, which was a startup in quite an early years of my life.
Can you elaborate on your experience specifically related to IT recruitment? What strategies do you typically use for sourcing and selecting candidates in the IT sector?
Certainly. So, as far as hiring is concerned, I rely on my job portals. I rely on my database. I rely for the passive candidates through LinkedIn, IM Jobs, Insta Hire, and I also have my internal database, which is quite handy. And our internal ATS also has a large repository of right candidates. And our AI tool helps in identifying the right map of the candidates, and then eventually we hire through the same.
It's great to hear that you utilize various platforms and tools for sourcing candidates, including LinkedIn and your internal databases. Can you describe a specific instance where your sourcing strategy led to successfully filling a challenging IT position? What steps did you take to ensure the right fit?
Definitely. So there was a project which we were expecting to come in 30 to 40 days, and we had to build a large pipeline for the same because we were bidding for a client project in South Africa. And we started working well in advance. We used LinkedIn. We also used our internal database, and we created a large pool of candidates with us. So by the time we hit the project jackpot, our pipeline was already ready, and we could immediately close five positions since our pipeline was already in place. So that strategy helped us, and we could meet the target lines.
That sounds like a proactive approach to pipeline management, which is crucial in recruitment. How do you assess the technical skills of candidates during the interviewing process? Can you share any particular methods or tools you use for technical skills assessment?
Sure. Whenever we hire for any technical positions, we create a repository of questions through chat gpt, through our internal understanding, also through the hiring managers, and we use those questions to evaluate the candidates, their technical skills, their depth. We also have our internal ATS tool, which is AI enabled, and we have a AI interviewer. So we run them through that AI interview as well. The whole objective is to do the screening at the beginning level, so that the candidate which we are processing further to our hiring manager should be well vetted, so that the chances of rejection, since our hiring team has limited time, we do not want to occupy them doing the basic screening. So those filters we do at our end, at the recruiter's end, and then we process the ones which we find close map. So we have a criteria of 70 to 75% match. Those are the candidates which we process further for further evaluation.
It's impressive that you leverage both AI tools and a collaborative approach with hiring managers to assess candidates effectively. How do you stay updated on industry trends and changes in the IT field that may impact your recruitment strategies? Can you provide an example of how this knowledge has influenced your recruiting approach?
Certainly, I'm an avid reader, so I love to know what is happening in the technology space. I'm part of a lot of tech groups, communities. I'm quite active on Reddit, Glassdoor, GitHub, Slack. I use those communities to understand what's happening in the tech arena. I keep a check on the global tech space as well through LinkedIn, through ChatGPT. So I really love to read, how industry is coping up with the new challenges which AI is bringing, how we can upbreast ourselves, how we can upskill ourselves. Those are the things which helps me understanding the tools, the technology direction, and that helps me analyzing candidates better at my end as well.
It's fantastic to hear that you actively engage with various tech communities and resources to stay informed. Based on your insights into the evolving landscape, how do you adapt your recruitment strategies to attract top talent, especially in a competitive market? Can you share a specific tactic that has proven effective for you?
Certainly. So, say for example, I have to hire for a fintech organization. I generally tap the similar industries or the competitors first, and then identify the tech stack they are working on, so that the chances of difference reduces here. I map them as closely as possible, the similar in industry, similar tech stack. So, when we are sourcing from those pools, the chances of getting better candidates is always higher.
That's a strategic approach to targeting candidates from similar industries and tech stacks, which can significantly increase the quality of your candidate pool. How do you evaluate the cultural fit of candidates during the recruitment process? And what specific indicators do you look for to ensure they align with the company's values?
Especially when you are hiring for these startups, some key factors are adaptability, hustler, someone who's not looking for a set structure, someone who's ready to learn, unlearn, because startups can bring challenges every day. You might have worked on a strategy yesterday, and next day you're scraping it off completely and you're starting from scratch. So it's important that you're okay to adapt to the new change, and that you're evolving every day, and you're ready to experiment, you're ready to learn, unlearn, and go with the organization flow. Not necessarily that why the set structure is not there, why certain processes are not there, because that's how startups are. They do not have anything fixed. It keeps changing depending on the market requirements, the client requirements, and they have to evolve as per the same. So similarly, and people, are they adaptive, are they open learners, are they ready to experiment, learn on the new technologies? Could be today I'm working on one tech stack, tomorrow the requirement changes, and we just completely scrap off and start from scratch. Are you ready for those changes? If you have that kind of mindset, and are you only salary stuck, designation stuck, or hierarchy stuck, then you may not be a fit to the startup. So yes, these are certain parameters which I use to map my candidates for my hiring for the startups.
Your criteria for evaluating adaptability and a willingness to learn are crucial for success in a startup environment. Can you describe a time when you faced a significant challenge in the recruitment process, possibly related to finding candidates with the right mindset for a startup, and how you overcame it?
Yes, once I was part of the hiring for an edutech, which was a number one edutech during that time. The challenge was we needed people to come for the startups, but budget was a constraint. So we were not offering, um, high end salaries, and not even at par with the markets. So the major challenge was the technology was new, the industry was relatively new, the salary packages were relatively low. So during that time, convincing candidates and bringing them on board was a challenge. But what we did, we created a pitch. We were straightforward. We used the straightforward approach. We reached out to the candidate and told them that 30% is what we can offer, but what we can offer you, the technology and the tech stack, because edutech was picking up that time. I said, being part of the edutech industry, which is the most growing industry, and the future lies in this. If you're part of this industry right now, it'll open up avenues in future for you, not only with respect to the learning but from the growth. And we were successful in convincing candidates, and fortunately we could close 60 to 70% roles for that industry, and that was quite a success for us.
That's an excellent example of how a strategic pitch can effectively attract candidates, even when budget constraints are in place. It shows your ability to highlight the long-term benefits of joining a growing industry. How do you measure the success of your recruitment efforts post-hire, and what metrics or feedback do you typically look at to evaluate the effectiveness of your hiring process?
So the key for my hiring processes is communication. I ensure that every stage we are quite engaged with our candidates. You know, engagement is something which is paramount for us. And how do we do that? At every stage, we communicate with our candidates. We give them written communication. We give them verbal communication also. We give them detailed feedback, even to the rejected candidates. We go back, we let them know that, you know, right now you were not shortlisted due to lack of these areas, but definitely the doors are open. In future, we have similar skills. We'll come back to you. So that helps us a lot in building the pipeline of the passive candidates who keep checking with us whenever they are looking out, you know, and whenever we have a suitable role. It's a win-win for both of us.
Your emphasis on communication and providing feedback is commendable and essential for maintaining a strong candidate relationship. It clearly demonstrates a thoughtful approach to building a talent pipeline. Can you share an example of how a candidate's feedback has led to improvements in your recruitment process?
Definitely. Once there was a candidate, you know, who gave an assignment, and after that, he was shortlisted also. However, in the interim, the recruiter who was handling that candidate left the organization. So in this entire process, nobody had the visibility of that candidate, and he was reaching out. Somehow he reached out to one of our employees through LinkedIn, and that's how we got to know that he was offered. Somehow the visibility was not clear. That eventually helped us create a backup provision where the candidate, even a recruiter is going, a backup mentor should be there or a backup recruiter should be there, so that in absence of one recruiter, there should not be any leakages in the process. That helped us improve our internal processes as well.
Thank you, Banasashdeva, for your insightful responses today. It was a pleasure speaking with you, and I wish you the best in your career. Goodbye.